Right, welcome back everybody. We're back on the Yamaha Thundercat again. What we're doing in today's video is I'm going to do a brake fluid flush, and I want to change the coolant on it and put some antifreeze in it as well. So I've still got the side fairings off, obviously just for easy access to get to the bottom of the radiator to drop the hose. I've ordered a fairing bolt kit for it, so I don't want to be sticking the fairings on because there was a lot of bolts missing. So I was going to wait for that kit, and so it'll have all new bolts all around it. I want to be getting the tank flushed. I want to take the tap off, get all the crap out of that, and see why that tap's not operating. It's not closing off on the off position. It's still running through fuel. So I'll take that apart if we can get that separated and see if there's anything in there that we can do to repair that. If not, it'll probably have to be a new tap. So, but that's not for this video. What we're going to do now is we'll get the bike lifted up, and we'll do the brakes first, and then we'll do the coolant. Right, before we start, I've actually just took the bracket off of there, just so we got more access to this. So what I'll do is I'll just take this cap off, and I'll come back and then we'll have a look and see what the fluid's like in there. So let me just get that cap off. Right then, so as you can see, I've took the cap off now, and at the bottom of that it is really dirty in there. And when I did take the cap off, there was quite a bit of condensation under the cap, and it was a bit watery in there. So yeah, it's definitely due a change. So what we'll do now is we'll head to the rear caliper and we'll get our bleeding system set up, and we'll keep flushing this through until we get clear fluid coming out of the rear caliper there. So I'm just going to set you up on the stand and then we'll get started. Right then, so just get your ring spanner on before you stick your pipe on, and then you want to stick your pipe over the top of that. This is the best view I can get you here. So what you want to do then is just crack it open, and once you're cracked open, push down on the pedal, hold it down, lock it off and back up again. Open up, push down, lock it off while it's held down and back up again. And you just want to keep doing that until you flush your whole system through, and just keep topping it up at the top there, keep pushing it through. So you don't want to get no airlock, but you'll know once you're through because you'll start getting clean fluid come through. So I'm just going to carry on with this now, and then we'll come back to you. Right then, just before I top this up, I want to show you all the crap that is sitting at the bottom of there. That I've just took it down just before it enters letting some air into the system. Before I top this up, I am just going to give that a clean out with some clean tissue, just so we're not dragging all that through the system, just to make our job a little bit easier. So I'm just going to give that a clean out, and we'll carry on. Right then, so as you can see, that's what the pot should look like. So I'm happy now to fill up with some fresh fluid and start pumping that through, and we should start seeing the result come through. And this is what I've got out so far, that much. So I'm just going to carry on now and I'll come back to you. Right then, so as you can see in that pot now, that is lovely and clean and clear. I've actually flushed 1.5 pots through, and I'm getting some lovely clean stuff coming out the back now. So what I am just going to do now is I'm just going to do the other side. It shouldn't take as long, it's just clearing out what's left in this half of the caliper basically. So that should only take a couple of squirts. So I'll just get that done now, and then we're hopefully done on the back brakes. Yeah, just shot a bit of brown out there. I see that come out first shot. We've got a lovely pedal there now. It's coming out clear now, so I'm happy with that. Let's give it another one just for luck. There we go. Just nip that up. Take that off now. Hold that up, run that into the bucket. Get your cloth. Just have a little clean round. There should be some little rubber nipple covers on them, but there don't seem to be any on there, so we'll just have to let that be. So as you can see, we've got lovely fluid in there now, and we've got a really good pedal there. so I'm happy with that. So what I'll do now is I'll just get this up to level where it needs to be and get the cap on, and that's the rear end sorted. Then we'll head on to the front end. It's a double caliper on this, one on each side, so we'll get round there and we'll start on that. Right then, so I forgot where we were now. About an hour's passed. I just got a bit sidetracked. I was watching a bit of Ken Small Engines there, so he's doing a live stream at the minute. So I'm back on it now. So I'm just going to take the reservoir cap off of the front here, just up by the clocks. And same again, the oil, the fluid, brake fluid rather, is not much better than it was on the back. So what we're going to do is just the same process again. So spanner on, make sure your pipe's on, and then it's a matter of cracking it, front brake in, again open the nipple, pull the brake lever, close the nipple, release the brake. So I'm just going to carry on doing that now. You see me do the back ones, so I won't bore you doing the fronts. Right, and as you can see now in there we've got a lovely clean pot, just like the rear one. So it's all fresh fluid flushed through on all calipers. So what we can do now is we can go ahead, putting the cap back on, and it does have a little safety catch on there, a screw that screws on there, with a metal bracket that goes over the top, just so it can't be tampered with. So let me get all that back together, and we'll start with the engine coolant flush. Right then, so here we go. I found the lowest hose that I can see on the engine, so I'm just going to undo this Jubilee clip. Got myself a little bowl under here, hopefully to catch most of the stuff. And just, here we go, I'll break the seal. There we go. Just remember to take the cap off at the top as well, so you're not creating a bit of a vacuum there. There we go. So I bought myself some more new antifreeze. We'll get that flushed through. All the waterways look alright. So I'll just let that drain through for a minute, and oh, there we go. So that's as far as I'm going to be going with this. So I can stick that pipe back up there to where it belongs. Get me a socket. And then we'll just nip that back up again. There we go. And just remember, just like your engine oils, just waste disposal that down your local recycle centre. So there we go. Right then, so I've got you in the best I can here. Took the radiator cap off, I've just dropped a funnel in. So I'm using a 50-50 mix here for the refill of the cooling system. Oh, there we go, that's full now. So there we go, that's that back on. What I might do, I might just quickly see if the battery's actually charged, and we'll try and run it up to temperature and try and get any air out of the system if there is. So let me just check on the battery. Right then, so I'll say we are still running on the temporary fuel tank here, so let me just turn the fuel on, and hopefully this battery's got some juice in it now. Give it some choke, and I'll just get it up to temperature. I won't show you all of that because it could be running for 5 or 10 minutes, so let me just give it a run up. Right, that actually got up to temperature nice. Took about 10 to 15 minutes, but it got there in the end. And I thought, while we're here, we'll quickly just take this tap off and have a quick inspection on that and drain the rest of the crap fuel that's in this tank out. Oh. There we go, that's one out. It's just easier to drain it from the bottom here rather than trying to empty the tank upside down. That's one screw out. Jesus Christ. There we go. Always remember, have a good fitting screwdriver. And I say with these bikes, you want the JIS's. So that's, oh, look at the state of that, look. Terrible. As you can see, all around there, it's full of crap. And just inside this tank, it's just like what it was in the carb. So it's a good job we weren't actually going to run this bike up on this tank. It does need a good flush. Right, so that's the screws out. Here we go. Yeah, yet again, full of crap all around there. So it does really need a good clean. I'm just going to empty my bucket and I'll come back and we'll tip out whatever's in this tank. Right, so I've got my bucket here and there is some stuff in this tank, so let's just tip it up. Oh, look at that. "10-year-old plus fuel and water" by the looks of it. There we go. So let's take you a look in there. And to be honest, looks like we're down at the Lincoln seaside and looking in at the sea with all the sand. Right, so I've just poured it into a bottle, look. That is all the crap that come out of that tank. And there's a few more sediments just in there, look. So, terrible. That's what happens when you leave stuff sitting for years on end. So what we'll do now is we'll take this tank into the log cabin. Sop is in there, and we'll get some of his MC51 and we'll get that sitting in there for a week or so to do its stuff, and then we'll drain it out and flush it through, and then hopefully the tank should be good to go again. Right, here he is, look. What? We need some MC51.
MC51?
Right, and as you would have just seen in that clip there, I've actually put the MC51 in the tank now. So I did put the fuel tap and all that back on just so we could set the tank up and get everything from the bottom. I did take the tap apart. It's the gaskets in there was all chewed up, so I might just look at a replacement tap rather than just changing the gasket. It might just be cheaper than fanning about because there's O-rings and all that in there, so sometimes it's cheaper just to change the part than it is to buy the bits. I did manage to get the filter off as well. I'll be replacing that as well, seeing the state of the carbs and the tank. That's not going to be much better inside, so we'll get rid of that and replace that. Yeah, I think we're going to call that for this video. So that'll sit in there for about a week or so now, and hopefully there probably will be one more video on this bike, and that will just be putting all the fairings back on, tank refitted. We'll give the bike a bit of a clean up and see where we are with it, and maybe we'll get it ready for sale then. One more video on this maybe, and that'll be wrapping it up for this bike then. And I'll say I want to get the Piaggio NRG on the ramp then, because I want to get that done and out of the way, because I want to get on with the TZR. I've still got the new bearings and all that to come in. We might slip that little video in soon somewhere, because that's not a job where I need the lift table for doing the engine bearings and all that. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Don't forget, if you want any of the merchandise, there's a link down below for our eBay store. Amazon wish list. People do always send me emails saying how can we support the channel, so there is a link down there for the Amazon wish list. Whatever's on that list is for the stuff for working on these projects and content for the channel. So yeah, anyway, that's enough rambling. Until next time, we'll see you about.